This forgotten 1800 soil trick grows plants faster than compost. Almost no one uses it. Your soil can look dark, feel soft, and still be starving your plants. That's the urgent problem most gardeners never realize until growth stalls, leaves fade, and harvests disappoint. Today's video on Soil and Crop Central reveals a forgotten 1800s soil method that delivers usable minerals to plants faster than compost ever can, and it does it with something most people throw away. Modern garden soil often lacks one critical thing: readily available minerals. Compost improves structure and biology over time, but it releases nutrients slowly. In many gardens, especially containers and raised beds, minerals are washed out faster than they're replaced. The result is soil that looks healthy but behaves inert. Roots struggle to access potassium, calcium, and magnesium, even when organic matter is present. When soil drifts acidic, nutrients can become chemically locked, unavailable to plants no matter how much compost you add. This is why plants can look weak despite careful watering and feeding. The issue isn't effort, it's speed and availability. Before packaged fertilizers existed, gardeners relied on observation. One pattern repeated itself across generations. When clean wood ash was mixed with water and applied to soil, plants responded almost immediately. Growth accelerated, leaves deepened in color, stems strengthened, yields increased. This practice became common because it worked quickly. Wood ash carried minerals already in soluble forms. When dissolved in water, those minerals moved straight into the root zone. Unlike compost, nothing needed to break down first. Over time, this method faded, not because it failed, but because it was simple and unmarketable. Yet the soil never stopped responding to it. So, what makes wood ash so powerful for plants? Well, it contains potassium, calcium, and magnesium. Three minerals that, honestly, plants really depend on for rapid, healthy growth. Potassium supports water regulation and helps build strong stems. Calcium, on the other hand, reinforces cell walls and prevents growth disorders in fruiting crops. And magnesium, well, that's what enables chlorophyll production, which directly affects leaf color and photosynthesis. These minerals dissolve pretty quickly in water. When you apply them to soil, they don't wait weeks to become available. Roots can absorb them almost immediately, and that's why, visual changes often appear within days rather than months. Wood ash also carries natural alkalinity. Many soils gradually become acidic due to rainfall, irrigation, and the natural breakdown of organic matter. When pH drops too low, nutrients become, chemically inaccessible. Ash water gently raises pH, unlocking nutrients that are already present and restoring balance in the root zone. Why does this work faster than compost? Well, compost is essential, but it is slow by design. It feeds microbes first and plants second. That's ideal for long-term soil health, but not for immediate mineral correction. Ash water works on a different timeline. It delivers soluble minerals directly to the soil solution, where roots can access them right away. When soil is acidic, compost nutrients may stay locked. Ash water corrects that imbalance quickly, allowing compost to finally do its job. This is why, honestly, the combination of compost and ash water often produces dramatic results. Compost builds the foundation. Ash water wakes it up. Back in the day, folks used a straightforward method, just ash and water. But now, we've refined the process to make it safer and, honestly, a whole lot more reliable. Always use clean, untreated wood ash. Nothing else. Measure out 2 cups of sifted ash and dissolve that into 5 liters of water. Give it a good stir, then let the heavier bits settle at the bottom. The liquid that forms above the sediment is what you want. That's where the minerals are. This diluted solution gives your soil a gentle boost without overdoing it. When you apply it, pour it gently around the base of your plants, but never right onto dry roots. It's important to lightly water the soil first, so those minerals spread nice and evenly through the root zone. You can use this solution every 3 to 4 weeks during the growing season, but always keep an eye on how your soil responds. Ash water sure packs a punch, but the type of soil you've got really makes all the difference. Sandy soils soak up those minerals fast, since everything washes right through. Ash water helps replace what's lost. On the other hand, if your soil's heavy with clay, it tends to hold onto nutrients, so you'll want to go easy. Lighter applications are definitely safer. In thick, dense soil, less is always more. And moisture, well, it matters too. Pouring ash water onto dry soil can lead to patchy, uneven mineral spots. Slightly damp soil, though, takes it up evenly and safely. Temperature plays a role here too. When your soil's warm, minerals move through it more quickly. That's why early season applications work best after the ground has started to warm up. But above all, keep an eye on your soil's pH. If your soil already leans toward alkaline, adding ash water can tip it over the edge. But in acidic soils, even small doses can unlock some pretty impressive growth. Alright, let's talk about understanding pH without complication. Soil pH controls nutrient availability, plain and simple. Most crops, they perform best in a slightly acidic to neutral range. Now, when pH drops too low, nutrients become trapped. On the other hand, when it rises too high, other nutrients fall out of balance. Ash water works because it gently nudges acidic soil toward balance. When pH moves into the optimal range, nutrients unlock, microbes activate, and roots begin absorbing what was already there. This is exactly why gardeners often see results even when they haven't added new compost recently. The nutrients were present, they were just inaccessible. Fruiting and heavy-feeding crops, well, they respond exceptionally well to this method. Tomatoes, peppers, squash, beans, and brassicas all benefit from the potassium and calcium boost. Leafy greens, too, often show deeper color and faster development. But keep in mind, acid-loving crops do not respond well. If a plant prefers consistently acidic soil, ash water should be avoided entirely. And, in containers, sensitivity increases because pH shifts happen faster in smaller volumes of soil. So, when it comes to using ash water in different growing spaces, there are a few things to keep in mind. In open ground, the sheer volume of soil really helps buffer any mistakes you might make. Ash water tends to spread naturally and evenly in these conditions. Raised beds, on the other hand, respond a bit more quickly, so you'll want to use lighter doses. Now, containers. Well, they require the most restraint of all. Dilution is absolutely critical here, and applications should be pretty infrequent. For indoor plants, you'll need extremely mild solutions, used only on rare occasions. In every case, let the soil's response guide how often you use it. Your plants will let you know if the balance is improving. You might be wondering why this method kind of faded away, and why it's coming back now. The truth is, it didn't fit a system built on convenience and packaging. Using ash water required observation, a bit of restraint, and a real understanding of how soil behaves. As gardening shifted toward bottled solutions, these simple mineral cycles were sort of abandoned. But now, gardeners are returning to methods that work with the soil, not against it. Ash water is being rediscovered, not out of nostalgia, but as a practical answer to a modern problem: mineral-depleted soil. It's important to remember that ash water isn't a replacement for compost. It's more of a complement. Compost builds structure and supports biology in the soil, while ash water provides immediate mineral correction. When you use both, you get soil that responds quickly and improves steadily. Used responsibly, this approach becomes part of your seasonal rhythm. Early growth gets a real boost from mineral replenishment, mid-season stress is reduced, and late-season strength is improved. Over time, you'll find your confidence grows. Not from products, but from understanding how your soil behaves. So, this forgotten 1800s soil trick isn't magic. It's just mineral logic. When plants get what they need, in a form they can actually use, growth follows naturally. If this video helped you see your soil a little differently, go ahead and share it with another gardener who's struggling with slow growth. And hey, subscribe to Soil and Crop Central for more practical, time-tested methods that actually work and help bring this knowledge back where it belongs, right into the soil.